family members, friends, and guests. I'd like to welcome you to Colorado State University. I'm Jody Donovan, and it's my privilege to serve as a faculty member and advisor in the Student Affairs in Higher Education graduate program. Dave McElfresh, program chair, is unable to be here today, and he asked me to preside over this hooding ceremony. First, let me say congratulations to the SAHE class of 2015. Our program is in its 47th year, and today, each of you who are graduating will experience the same sense of personal accomplishment as the many hundreds of graduates who have preceded you throughout our long history. All of the family members and friends and colleagues who are here today have traveled a distinctive path to arrive at today's ceremony. This event has special significance for all of you. You've stood by these graduates with your understanding and support. And so I would like to ask all of the family members to stand and be recognized. It is our belief that you all have earned a little bit of this SAHE master's degree too. So, for those family members and friends who could not be here today, we have a special setup to record the ceremony, and then we'll post it to our website for viewing. I'd like to especially thank Jason Rogan and his staff for recording the ceremony and for helping us to get this posted to our website. I'd like to give a special welcome to Greg Roberts, an icon in the field of student affairs. Where's Greg? Ah. Greg served as the executive director for ACPA, one of our professional associations, for over 10 years, and vice president for student affairs at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota for 11 years. We're pleased you're here to celebrate Samantha Sickberts, a family friend, her accomplishment. Much of our program's success rests with a group of highly motivated and very talented faculty and a group of very dedicated assistantship and practicum supervisors. Would all of the faculty and staff who have participated in the SAHE experience for these graduates please stand and let us thank you. I'd also like to share a very special recognition for our newest doctor in the house, Dr. Deanna Leone. Will you please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, Doctor. We're very fortunate to have a group of people who work behind the scenes every day to make our program a success. Those staff members are Kelly Clark in the School of Education. I don't know if Kelly is here. Okay, thank you. Kim Okamoto in the Vice President for Student Affairs Office. Kim. Casey Collard-Jarneau, who coordinates the graduate assistantships. Casey. Additionally, Samantha Sickbert, Andrea Santillon, Addie Rastel, and Mariah Colas have made major contributions to our program over the past year. Please join me in recognizing all of these people for their contributions to the program. And finally, the SAHE program enjoys the support from both the School of Education and the Division of Student Affairs. And the person who is our biggest supporter from Student Affairs and provides strong leadership is Dr. Blanche Hughes, the Vice President for Student Affairs. One of the long and strong traditions for this ceremony is for the graduating students to select one or two members from their group to be the student speaker this afternoon. Whitley Hadley and Jeffrey Perkins will be making the student remarks this afternoon. This is a very special honor. So please join me in welcoming Whitley and Jeffrey to the podium.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good. Okay, you ready for this?
Ready.
Y'all ready for this? All right. Look at us, the SAHE class of 2015, looking good in the golden green caps, gowns, and hoods. Y'all were oh so clean. Looking at my cohort, I stop and think, where are you going? Who will you be? What have you learned in this 2-year think tank? I wonder, have you learned how to play the political game and that power is not always a negative thing? I wonder, will you know when the mean green symbolically sings and tells you, this ain't your fight, you gotta pay the bills and keep on the lights? And I wonder, which mountain will you fight on? I wonder, are our knapsacks full? Do we have the tools to speak the truth even if our voices shake? Do we know when to call in someone because we care? Do we know when to stop panning and start asking, planning, and acting? Do we know how to embrace each other for the greater good and appreciate the us over the I? Do you know that pressure makes diamonds? Yeah. Pressure and heat makes the diamond so tough. As the atoms feel the heat and are pushed closer together, they form a shell capable of surviving a break, chip, and crack. And although not invincible, the directions in which the atoms are bound the tightest allow the diamond to be one of the toughest and most desired materials on earth. When I look at my cohort, I know we are diamonds. We pursue the things we love doing, and we do them so well that people are invested and can't take their eyes off us. As the fog rolls in, we've seen it as an opportunity for growth, connection, support, and allow the pressure to teach us first in order to reflect on the lesson later. We've grown from competition and defining ethics to individuals embracing the quality of the mind and character. We discovered excellence is not solely an expectation, but an action and state of being. As we have grown to believe in others, we have learned to believe in ourselves. We've begun to learn how to be comfortable with discomfort, and that learning is a journey, not a destination. So, as we move forward into this big, small, scary, exciting, messed up, beautiful world, we hope you allow yourself to be excellent. Excellent in how you learn, excellent in how you love, excellent in how you teach, excellent in how you be. You've put in the effort, grown, made, and accomplished goals, and you matter.
Great job. So I'm not as cool as Whitley. I just prepared a speech for everybody. But no. So around this time 2 years ago, many of us were graduating from university while others were working full-time, trying to rationalize why they decided to give up established lives to be paid part-time. Despite our different walks of life and what we gave up to be here, we all shared a want to help students. And the Student Affairs and Higher Education graduate program here at Colorado State University was the best option for this group of people in our holistic development as student affairs practitioners. So you fast forward 2 years, and now here we stand as masters, right? It's awesome. To our friends and families, this wasn't easy. I don't want you all to think that it was. To work part-time as full-time students is physically, mentally, and emotionally taxing. I want you all to know that we have been through a lot, but persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. Outside of being absolutely hilarious, the best way to describe this cohort is persistent and resilient. But before we get serious, y'all know I had to throw some shade, right? First, to our late birds, classes start at the same time every week, so you all will have to explain what schedules you were operating from. We're waiting. Secondly, when trash falls in the middle of the night inside your third-floor apartment, always call the police because it could be a burglar. Next, for the record, during karaoke, I was Beyonce, Neve was Kelly, and Whitley was Michelle. And then finally, good riddance to Samson University, Southwest State University, Middle State College. I think I speak for us all when I say, thank goodness those were only scenarios. Okay, so now back to being serious. So as a cohort, we have had our fair share of laughs, but not without trials and tribulations. Almost a year ago, we saw one of our own lose a partner, and this group for the first time fell silent. We mourned this loss, but celebrated life because that's what Becca would have wanted from us. Life and death are somehow sweetly and beautifully mixed, but I don't know how. Just as we approach a year of this loss, we welcome life as we congratulate Matt and Julie Anton on welcoming baby Kai Emerson Anton into this world. So congratulations. Now I know folks are asking what's my point, and I mention these things because these are examples of how our cohort functions. As a whole, we have all experienced loss, but we continue to celebrate life because resilience is what we know. We cry a lot, but laugh even more. Some of us hate how emotional our field is, while others just hate working in groups. We struggle to practice self-care, but we do not hesitate to procrastinate. We are passionate beyond measures, and that makes us too stubborn for our own good at sometimes. We have struggled as young professionals, and will continue to in job one, but when you are struggling, I want us all to think back to this group because resilience is woven deeply into the fabric of our cohort. Throw us an obstacle, and we definitely bounce back. So what you all have sitting before you is a generation of practitioners who do not quit. This group of people has experienced more than you can imagine, yet sit here excited about what will come next. So to my fellow graduates, Dr. Seuss once said, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Don't ever let anyone silence you, but don't let your egos get into your way. We call ourselves the best for a reason, and I challenge you all to go out into the world and prove it. Continue to seek out help, but become those who are sought out for help. As I wrap this up, I think it's imperative to say a few things. To everyone who touched our lives, we say thank you. To parents who stood by us no matter what. To instructors who tried to instill in us passion for learning. To administrators who wanted to make our graduate experiences as amazing as possible. To advisors who helped us decide what path to take. Thank you. Thank you to the SAHE program and to our SAHE faculty for everything. Kate Reardon once said, a good school teaches resilience, and you all did just that. Thank you for your guidance and your patience, because we can be somewhat of a difficult group. We learn from the best, and I'm sure you all will see just how prepared we are when we change the face of student affairs. And to my cohort, I leave you all with these words. You are educated. Your certification is in your degree. You may think of it as the ticket to the good life. Let me ask you to think of it as an alternative. Think of it as your ticket to change the world. Don't be fooled or lured by the celebratory bravado of the day. Yes, there is confidence, optimism, and good cheer under these motorboards, but there is also insecurity, fear, ambivalence, and ignorance. You all have accepted a responsibility to offer the inspiration, hope, information, humor, idealism, common sense, or advice you can summon. Whatever style and substance you use, make it about their lives, not yours. Your target audience is not the parents, not the media, not the teachers, or yourself. It's the students. So in the words of William James, act as if what you do makes a difference. It does.
Thank you, Whitley. Thank you, Jeffrey. That was wonderful. Now we would like to proceed with the hooding of our graduates. And to begin, I'd like to introduce Heather Novak. She's co-advisor with Judy Bryant. Heather.
I would like to invite Neve O'Shea to the stage. Neve O'Shea graduated from Carleton University in Canada in the spring of 2013. She was the top student in human rights and women's and gender studies. She stated that she was looking for a new and challenging opportunity to gain experience in the field of higher education administration. I think she found that in the SAHE program. Neve's recommender noted that she is an exceptionally gifted student. She has a fine mind with exceptional analytical and critical thinking skills. These are combined with a careful reflection and an ongoing integration of new ideas and information. This means she is always growing as a scholar. Neve proved these remarks to be true with her performance in the classroom and in her graduate assistantship. Her recommender also noted that because she is reflective and responsive, she is always open to new possibilities and to personal growth. She accepts constructive feedback well and takes a balanced approach to criticism. In her first semester, these traits were tested with an email communication with a faculty member. Neve truly embraced this as a learning moment and made a conscious effort to craft all subsequent communications with the utmost diplomacy. The theme of her portfolio was centered on trees and their meaning, and this episode clearly fell into the category of forest fire and regrowth. Other chapters of her portfolio reflected on her Canadian roots, her growth as a young professional or sapling, going out on a limb, and planting seeds for the future. She made these analogies come alive in her portfolio, and her portfolio was She even had a pine or spruce tree planted by the Arbor Day Foundation in the Chippewa National Forest in honor of her committee members. The certificate reads, "The trees planted for you are an act of optimism and kindness, a labor of love and a commitment to stewardship. He that plants a tree loves others besides himself." Neve has challenged herself and her advisors to continue growing. She is well prepared to serve college students. I am truly lucky to have gotten to know Neve, and I can't wait to see what she accomplishes. Congratulations, and welcome to the profession. I'd like to invite Leah Hansen to come up.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to invite Ashley Renteria to come join me on the stage. Ashley came to Fort Collins after spending a year directing student activities at St. Monica High School in California. She graduated from the University of Notre Dame in 2011 with a major in psychology and a minor in Latino studies. This achievement made her the only one of the 20 students she went to middle school with to graduate from a four-year institution. She arrived on campus with expressed intention of aiding students to achieve their full potential and working with underrepresented students to help them succeed academically and otherwise in college. Little did she know how much her own growth was central to achieving those goals. Her early conversations with Judy and I as her advisors revealed that she was competent, professional, and driven. It also revealed that she had doubts about herself and at times even questioned her place in the SAHE program. I could see a lot of myself in her at that time, definitely. After a few conversations, Judy and I suggested she look at imposter theory as a part of her work in theory class, and now, 2 years later, she wrote in her portfolio, "I am confident that I will be ready to leave in a sense of whatever comes next. I will be prepared." Part of this confidence stems from Ashley's work in her classes and her graduate assistantship, where she performed very well, of course. But more importantly, much of her confidence stems from taking on additional responsibilities that challenged her. She advised a fraternity, she assisted with CSU's inaugural Summit on Diversity in Intercollegiate Athletics, taking practicum on international education, and editing the SAHE journal. It's a very long list, yes, good job. She had no direct experience with any of these before she brought her knowledge, skills, and character to the task at hand, and of course, she flourished. Ashley wrote in her portfolio that the biggest thing her assistantships and practica gave her was confidence. She went on to say that confidence to her isn't the ability to do everything perfectly, but the ability to trust her own decisions and skills. She should. She values students and is passionate about serving them. She is intelligent, warm, and hardworking. But perhaps most importantly, Ashley has learned to reflect and to be an advocate for herself. She has sought to identify her purpose in life and has taken full ownership of her career. She once worried about disappointing her family or other people in her life, but she has earned this respect, and everyone is proud of her, including Judy and me. Ashley is a strong, smart, and tenacious woman. She works very hard. She sees what she wants, and she goes after it. Feeling like an imposter is something we can all relate to in some way, myself included. We all know what it's like to not feel like, we all know what it's like to feel like we might not be doing enough. And Ashley, you are doing enough. You have done more than enough, I might say. Judy and I know you will accomplish great things in your future professionally and personally, and we are so glad to have shared this piece of your journey with you, and we're looking forward to what else is in store in the future. Congratulations and welcome to the profession. And now I'd like to invite Paul Thayer in lieu of Craig Chesson to the stage.
Let me invite to the stage Samantha Danielle Borrego. Greetings, I'm Dr. Craig Chesson. Or actually, I'm Paul Thayer, standing in for Craig Chesson. Craig is watching his daughter perform at the state track championship meet, and we're all wishing both Craig and Jasmine Chesson very well. I'm going to offer Craig's words, mostly inserting a few of my own. So this is from Craig. Sam, congratulations for completing your degree in Student Affairs in Higher Education. Unfortunately, I'm not able to participate in this incredible ceremony due to my daughters competing for a track state championship. Sam entered the SAHE program as a student who completed her degree at Colorado State University as an undergraduate. During her tenure as an undergraduate, she was involved in mentoring younger students as Bridge Scholars Coordinator, as a Key Communities Mentor, as RAM Orientation Leader, and she participated in a leadership exchange program with La Universidad Autónoma de Yucatán and Colorado State University. Sam was an outstanding student leader who made an impact on our campus in and outside the classroom. And now I'm channeling Paul Thayer. I had a chance to meet Sam when she was a sophomore during and after a presentation that I made to the Key Community Ambassadors. And I remember our conversation at that time in which you said, really? There is such a thing as student affairs? What is it? And how do I get involved? That led to her being involved, being named as a NUF scholar. And I was honored to be her mentor during that year. I'm back to Craig again. It was no surprise that Sam made the decision to continue her studies at CSU, focusing on student affairs. Sam's journey through the program was full of ups and downs, as many of us experience in our careers. As Sam indicated during her portfolio defense, completing a master's degree is one of her life's proudest moments. There were times of self-doubt and confusion as she prepared for presentations and worked to keep up with demands from her assistantship. Sam also learned much about supervision and what it means to advocate for a student population about which you are so deeply passionate. Still Craig, Sam, one of the many things I admire about you is your inquisitive nature. You have no problem asking the why if you don't understand concepts or something that was said in a conversation outside of class. I encourage you to sharpen this critical mind of yours as you work with students who are not able to advocate for themselves. As we have had conversations, many of them about access and retention and the challenges that this presents, remember to be true to your values and, most of all, breathe before making important decisions. Now I'm channeling Paul Thayer. Sometimes one can be daunted by the many challenges posed by graduate study and by this work that we do, and of course, all the while managing the rest of one's life. But indeed, you've met these challenges. You've made them into important learning experiences and used them to make you stronger and wiser as well. Along the way, I've completely enjoyed your progress. I've enjoyed the times that we've spent talking about life, about matters of the heart, about matters of student affairs practice. It's been a rich experience for me. Throughout, you've maintained your deep commitment to increasing access and success for all students, including those whose life circumstances have most circumscribed their opportunity. Sam, I'm already smiling, thinking of the many students whose lives you will touch, and the ways that you will help so many students in creating new possibilities for their futures. Back to Craig. Welcome to the profession, Sam. And remember, you don't always have to get everything right on the first try. For all of us, some of our moments of greatest growth occur when we make mistakes. And now from both Craig and I, your warmth, your commitment, and all that you carry within you, Sam, all your passion will serve you well. Good luck to you on your future plans, and welcome to the profession. Welcome to the stage again, some of you have already met, Dr. Jody Donovan.
Tolu Taiwo, will you please come up to the stage and join Jason and me? Confidence, confidence, confidence. The last 2 years have been spent focusing on helping Tolu believe that she is intelligent, ethical, hardworking, kind, creative, and valuable. Tolu, you belong and you matter. Tolu hails from Illinois. She earned her undergraduate degree in journalism from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. As an Illini, she was the president of the Illini Union Board and very active with diversity and social justice initiatives on campus. In addition, she was a NASPA undergraduate fellow and served as a summer intern at the University of Texas, San Antonio. When Tolu applied to the SAHE graduate program, she hoped to gain a breadth and depth of knowledge on student centers, campus activities, and student programming. In her words, she was drawn to community and connection. She continues these values as she shared in her portfolio, regardless of my future functional areas, my overall student affairs goal is to help students feel as though they belong and matter. Tolu, you belong and you matter. During her time at Colorado State University, Tolu served in the Academic Initiatives and Student Leadership Graduate Assistantship. She coordinated the Peer Academic Leader Program, fulfilled a practicum as the RAM Orientation Assistant Resident Director during the summer between her first and second year. She interned with the CSU Health Network on mental health initiatives, and she worked tirelessly as the managing technical editor for the Journal of Student Affairs. She also served as a valued teaching assistant for the Ethical and Practical Issues in Student Affairs course fall semester. Clearly, Tolu maximized her time here at CSU. In addition to having 2 supervisors in residence life, Kyle Oldham and Teresa Metzger, Tolu had 2 advisors. I guess it takes a village to supervise and advise Tolu. Jason would now like to share a bit about Tolu from our co-advising relationship. Jason.
Having the opportunity to be a part of Tolu's advising team has been an amazing opportunity. Tolu's a wonderful person with a big heart, a thirst for knowledge, a passion for serving students, and a desire to do everything right. Truly, her desire to do everything right meant she was so good at challenging herself, Jody and I had to work hard to find the proper amount of support to balance this out. Tolu, I'll miss our midday phone calls. Talking through your assignments and reflections. I'll miss our advising meetings where we had such good conversation. I'll miss having the opportunity to read your reflections and witness your growth firsthand. Mostly, I'll miss your big smile and your warm heart. Although Tolu will be missed, not only by her SAHE family, but also by the many people she has influenced while at CSU, she's off to new experiences where, without a doubt in my mind, I know she will be successful in whatever she chooses to pursue. During her 2 years at CSU, she has consistently demonstrated a commitment to bettering herself, the courage to ask the difficult questions and do the right thing, and a true passion for supporting those around her. These qualities will serve you well as you move into the future. I'm so pleased with how much Tolu has grown over these past 2 years. She has a better understanding of her holistic self and is getting better at listening to her instincts rather than following the crowd. This will serve her well as she accepted a position as resident director at Pacific Lutheran University in Tacoma, Washington. Congratulations, Tolu, and welcome to the profession.
And now, Bailey Weber, will you join us at the podium? As many of you know, I'm drawn to smart people. I like to be intellectually challenged, and I can spot a smarty a mile away. Many of you know Bailey is a very bright and very capable student. When Bailey decided to apply to Colorado State University's SAHE graduate program, many of us wondered if she should enroll at a different graduate program in a different state. After all, she graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies with a minor in Peace and Reconciliation Studies in 2012 from Colorado State. She was incredibly involved as an undergraduate student, serving as a resident assistant for 3 years, an admissions ambassador, orientation leader, and alternative spring break participant and site leader. After Bailey graduated, though, she served as an admissions counselor for Colorado State. Once a Ram, always a Ram. Rather than let Bailey go when she was accepted to the SAHE program, admissions converted a full-time position into an assistantship, coordinating the Student Ambassador program. That's how we were able to keep her. For the next 2 years, Bailey also served as a fraternity graduate advisor for Alpha Tau Omega and an advisor for orientation and transition programs. Bailey grew up in the Midwest, also from Illinois. And now she has been bitten by the international travel bug. Bailey completed a study abroad in Dublin, Ireland during her undergrad. She fulfilled a summer practicum in graduate school at American University in Bulgaria, and then she traveled to Qatar for the Global Perspective course with her classmates and many faculty and staff during this last winter break. Clearly, Bailey is multi-talented, multi-interested. Early this week, we received a letter from the student coordinators in the Office of Admissions outlining all the wonderful things that Bailey did for the coordinators, the ambassadors, and the program. The students appreciated Bailey's authenticity, her advocacy, selflessness, work ethic, and care. They compiled a book with over 35 letters and notes to Bailey about how she changed their lives. Quote, Bailey challenged us to grow as individuals and push ourselves to be better communicators, leaders, and students. Wow, you can't get better accolades in our profession. Nice job. And now Jason has a few comments to honor Bailey during her time at CSU.
Although I hadn't had the chance to connect with Bailey prior to our first advising meeting where the three of us met, it became apparent immediately that she was a high-functioning, highly capable, extremely intelligent student, which meant right away Bailey was challenging Jody and I to find a way to help her grow, a task that becomes even more difficult when a student like Bailey is sitting across the table from you. It is rare to have someone as mature and rational and collected as Bailey entering graduate school immediately following the completion of an undergraduate experience. To top that off, even before we began providing feedback, the first time I read one of her papers, all I could think to myself is, this woman writes like a boss. Throughout it all, however, even the best of us face obstacles and challenges and seem to be tested by the world in one way or another. Bailey, of course, is no exception to this fact. What is exceptional is the way Bailey responded, because these were the times Bailey would shine the brightest and make the choice to face the situation, whatever it may be, head on. Being able to thrive in these difficult situations, along with her optimism, commitment, work ethic, and passion, will carry her far in whichever direction she chooses to go.
Bailey has a lot of irons in the hopper as she's job searching for a position back in the Midwest, a little bit closer to home. But always remember, once a ram, always a ram. Congratulations, Bailey, and welcome to the profession. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Mike Ellis to the podium.
Matt Anton, please join me on stage. Matt is the consummate educator, and I learned something new from him in each and every of our meetings. Since graduating from CSU with a bachelor's degree in natural resources and tourism, he's worked as an outdoor retail store manager, an outdoor educator, a special education teacher, an adventure program coordinator, and a high school principal. He committed his early career to working with youth, and he approached everything as if it were an adventure, and yet he desired to return to his alma mater. Considered one of the elders of the cohort, Matt has packed in the adventures the past 2 years. He served in the Office of Adult Learner and Veteran Services, coaching adult learners and veterans and navigating their experiences here at CSU, along with supervising a staff of 30 student employees. He completed a practicum in the Center for Advising and Student Achievement, co-taught a resident assistant class, and served as a graduate teaching assistant for the Global Perspectives course and playing a major coordinating role for the SAHE field experience to Doha, Qatar, which happened to be the experience of a lifetime for many of us. Beyond these rich experiences, what is most impressive about Matt has been his journey and understanding of the many privileges afforded him in his life, beginning with, in Matt's words, his parents who served as his greatest role models, and how he has an obligation to make use of his dominant identities in creating positive social change. He referred to this responsibility in his defense, sort of matter-of-factly, and I quote, "It's the work I need to be doing." And I'm not surprised, given he's been doing it most of his adult life. Despite all of these experiences, perhaps Matt's greatest accomplishment didn't come until this past week, when, as you heard earlier, he and his partner Julie welcomed Kai Emerson Anton into this world, a beautiful baby boy. I'm so glad that Matt will have the opportunity to blend his passion for social justice along with his experience in both the business world and in student affairs, as he recently accepted a position in the College of Business as an academic advisor here at CSU. Congratulations, Matt. Welcome to the profession. Sam Sickbert, please join me on stage. When I first met Sam, I knew that she was someone special. She has an incredibly humble way, mixed with the ability to be empathetic in seeking to understand others' perspectives, and she does this almost effortlessly. She's done this with me during our many advising meetings, and I'm grateful for the numerous gifts that she shared with me and others. Sam had powerful experiences while an undergrad and student athlete at St. Olaf's College in Minnesota, after which she worked for 2 years advising high school students through the AmeriCorps program. More importantly, Sam came to CSU with deep roots in the profession of student affairs and higher education, with her mother working in development and fundraising, and her father in student affairs, both very dedicated and accomplished in their work. Sam writes in her portfolio, "Throughout my life, I've been able to witness the impact that the work of student affairs can have on students, and it was this impact that I saw which influenced me to begin to think of student affairs as a career." And while Sam knew early on the influence of her parents in her decision to pursue this career in student affairs, during the past 2 years, it only became clearer for her as to how deep this influence really was. Sam served as the graduate assistant in conflict resolution and student conduct services, serving as the co-advisor for the All-University Hearing Board. She completed practicums with Student Athlete Support Services, the Psychology Department, and the SAHE program. She also served as a summer resident assistant for the RAM orientation program. That was an assistant resident director, for the RAM orientation program, and co-taught the resident assistant course last spring. Sam, you're a true treasure. You know where you've come from, and as importantly, who you are. Your students will be all the more fortunate to have you in our profession. As a little bit of a surprise for Sam, I've asked special permission for Sam's father, Dr. Alan Sickbart, to come forward and join me on stage to assist with the hooding. Dr. Sickbart has dedicated most of his career, and he currently serves as the Dean of Students at Hamline College and has been tremendously influential in Sam's life. So, join me with the hood. Congratulations, Sam, and welcome to the profession. And now Dr. Oscar Felix, please come to the stage.
All right. Roberto Cruz, please join me up here on the stage. Roberto earned his bachelor's degree from Northern Arizona University, where he also worked in admissions, Upward Bound, and the Multicultural Student Center. He has deep roots in the Mexican state of Sinaloa and has lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and Southern California. All of these experiences contributed to his sense of culture, family, and work style. But Fort Collins is quite a departure from these places. It is far away in many ways from Arizona, where he attended Cesar Chavez High School. The rich cultural experiences in these places is what Roberto brought to the program. Yet these situations often lead to culture shock for our students, and it was no different for Roberto. When I first met Roberto, I thought, this guy is big, particularly for Latino. Turns out Roberto has reflected on this, how he can come across as intimidating, yet not quite fully understood as an individual. He, in fact, made this observation the theme for his portfolio, Tales of Raising a Lion. Being a lion in a strange land clearly has its challenges, but you also grow, build compassion for yourself and others, and ease into the person you were always meant to be, strong, confident, loyal. During his time at CSU, Roberto accomplished quite a bit. Highlights include taking a critical look at the Academic Advancement Center, TRIO student support services to the CAS standards, advising student groups, and serving on the SAHE Journal Board. Serving on the Journal Board allowed Roberto to attend the Association for the Study of Higher Education National Conference. This experience taught him a lot about both being higher education and the type of professional he wants to become. Roberto and I usually met over lunch and had great conversations about everything. He was always generous with his meal plan. For our last meeting, however, we met off campus. He suggested Slice Pizza in Old Town. I'd never been there before. Awesome place. Now Roberto is ready to leave this land and move on to greener pastures. Well, maybe not greener. His job is in Arizona. Roberto's new job will be serving as community director with the housing department at the University of Arizona. Wishing you and your partner, Carla, all the best in your new life. By the way, a little reminder from your 10-year plan that you will earn your PhD, okay? Roberto, all right. Roberto, ya no eres un cachorro, mi amigo. Estás listo para rugir. Roberto, you are not longer a cub, my friend. You're ready to roar. Congratulations and welcome to the profession. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Blanche Hughes to the stage.
I'd also like to introduce, you've been introduced before, but our newest doctor, Dr. Deanna Leone, who is also co-advised the students that we're about to bring up. So we will be doing this together. So could we have Jonathan Rosario, please? JR, actually, when I was writing this, I had to look up your name. I did. It's like, Jay, what does that stand for? Oh, Jonathan. So first time I've ever called you that. J.R. Rosario came to us from New York City and received his bachelor's degree from DePaul University in Indiana. J.R., after spending these last 2 years preparing for his career, he plans to spend this summer as a teaching assistant for the Organizational Behavior course in our Student Affairs online program, and he will also start his new position as a residence hall director right here at CSU. We are thrilled that he is going to be staying with us. I'd like to keep them all, but I just don't have enough positions.
Now, rather than running through some of the students' resumes, because you know how wonderful they are, when Blanche and I were putting remarks together, we decided to ask the students a few questions so that they could share with you a little bit about what their experience has been. And so when we asked JR what his most impactful experience was during his SAHE journey, he shared that it was exploring culture and higher education in Qatar with his cohort and the SAHE faculty. So he was very appreciative of that. He's also said that it has been fun watching his own learning and growth, and we too have enjoyed watching that with you. You've put so much time and energy into your program. You've come with enthusiasm to your advising sessions. Your reflections have just grown tremendously over the last 2 years, and your passion and your commitment to residence life have been outstanding over the last 2 years. We have absolutely enjoyed all the heartfelt moments with you, and we want to say congratulations and welcome to the profession.
Brandon Devlin. Brandon grew up right here in Fort Collins and received his bachelor's degree from Colorado State University. He plans to continue his job search this summer, enjoy some time with family and friends, and have fun in the mountains. When we asked him about one of his favorite moments during his time here at CSU, he shared that it was impossible to pick one moment. He's mostly enjoyed the people that he has gotten to know and being involved with SLICE's adaptive swim program, formerly called Special Needs Swim, the TGIF program, the Laurie Student Center Governing Board, Alternative Breaks, and Campus Step Up.
Brandon has enjoyed these experiences mostly because he has shared that they've introduced him to some amazing people, they've helped him grow, and they have solidified his excitement to enter into student affairs as a full-time professional. Brandon, again, it has been so much fun to watch you grow. You've been at CSU as part of your undergraduate career through the SAHE and Student Affairs program. You've interacted in the classrooms in the Laurie Student Center helping with training and development, and it's been amazing to watch you engage critically in your thinking and learning. It's been fun to have you as a hallmate in the SLICE office just right across the hall, and for everything that you've done through the assessment committee and the Laurie Student Center Governing Board. So thank you, congratulations, and welcome to the profession. The third advisee that we have had the honor to recognize is Nora Al-Muallim. Nora received her bachelor's degree in Saudi Arabia before joining us here at Colorado State, and she plans to spend this summer taking her time to relax while looking for the perfect job and fit. She wants a suitable position that will enable her to put some time of these last 2 years put forward in the way that she thinks will most suit her and the students that she'll be working with. She wants to put that education to use in Saudi Arabia. One of Nora's most memorable experiences was the trip to Qatar, where she learned and got to engage with her cohort, and so has talked very fondly about those experiences with her peers.
Nora has also enjoyed her student development and inclusive university classes because of the relationships she was able to cultivate with her cohort members. She states, and I quote, "I was always trying to modify new things I was learning to match my native culture's context. I also noticed my growth in understanding and empathizing with others of different identities with whom I had not interacted with before, close quote. Nora, you've grown so much since coming to CSU, and we have also learned so much from you. We know you will serve the field of student affairs exceptionally in the future. Congratulations on your graduation, and welcome to the profession. We would now like to invite Karen Gardner to the podium.
Kristen Emmer, can you please join me? I co-advise Kristen. I have the pleasure of co-advising Kristen with Dave McElfresh, so these comments are from both of us. Kristen's life is a scrapbook. All of her memories are cut and pasted into scrapbooks, which sit on her homemade bookshelf. These scraps of life are the ones that symbolize the path she has been on as she entered and progressed to graduation in the CSU SAHE program. Kristen became interested in student affairs because it matched her personality and the way she likes to operate within the world. Kristen views student affairs as dynamic, exciting, and ever-changing, a place where the opportunity for creativity and innovation are around every corner. During the time I have known her, I have seen how excited and motivated she is to provide learning and growing opportunities for students on campus and around the world. Kristen Emmer's university experience deeply influenced who she is. Prior to starting her master's program, Kristen completed her Bachelor of Science at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse in Organizational and Professional Communication Studies. As an undergraduate, Kristen's greatest desire was to build relationships with as many people as she could. She did that through providing campus tours to prospective students and becoming a peer academic advisor, where she shared her positive perspective on career exploration with first and second year students. She became involved with Campus Crusade for Christ, and she studied abroad in India and Nepal. As a graduate student, Kristen worked as the graduate assistant for special initiatives in the Career Center. Kristen would tell you this was one of the proudest parts of her SAHE experience. She implemented the foundational launch of 10 successful Colorado industry tours, focusing on CSU's underrepresented industries to provide experiential learning opportunities for students in multiple majors. Additionally, she has been a fraternity graduate advisor for the AD Chi sorority. Kristen sums up her view of the FGA position in her portfolio in this way. My role as an FGA is to place myself in a position to build my chapter and ultimately the community into the shining stars they are. Through being available physically and mentally, I can serve as an encourager, feedback giver, and ultimately a support system. Being an advisor means being a light to the student's path as a growing member of the organization and contributing member of society. Kristen provided leadership for SAHE graduate students as a teaching assistant for a 2-week international field experience to Doha, Qatar this past January. In Kristen's portfolio, she states, "The overarching theme is transformative learning, defined as a transformation of perspective, incorporating changes in how I understand myself, altering a system of beliefs, and changing a lifestyle. International travel has a unique way of molding and shaping long-held convictions about the world, people, and the way systems work. A unique part of transformative learning is that it happens with experience, but is enhanced by preparation." As a teaching assistant for the Global Perspectives course, Kristen coordinated logistics, flights, in-country transportation, and professional learning experiences for 16 SAHE students and 9 faculty and staff members. The group participated in the Young Professionals Institute at Hamad bin Khalifa University and came away from that experience with an appreciation for the cultural context of higher education in the Arabian Gulf and the mutual benefit of an international field experience. Kristen's interest in cross-cultural teaching and learning was also strengthened during a practicum co-facilitating an undergraduate trip to Haiti with faculty from her alma mater. One of her greatest passions is working with veterans and their families. She did exactly this with a practicum at the USO last summer. Kristen would tell you that learning someone's story has always been a gift to her. Everyone who knows Kristen recognizes that she has used this gift in all of her SAHE experiences. Whether it's through facilitating education abroad programs, advising AD Chi, working with the USO, and of course, career counseling. Her portfolio demonstrates how her assistantship with the Career Center draws on her professional and personal strengths. Kristen writes, "These interactions with students, one-on-one and in group settings, is something that fires me up when I wake up in the morning. It's something I have learned how to advocate for over the course of my time in the Career Center." When students enter Kristen's office in the Career Center, they're provided a space to share their stories, dreams, and desires. During her assistantship, Kristen played a small role in making those dreams become a reality. Kristen will continue to help make students' dreams become a reality. She accepted a newly created position within the Career Center here at CSU as the Career Communities and Veteran Career Coordinator. I'm so proud of you, Kristen, and I think this is the perfect fit. Congratulations and welcome to the profession. And next, I'd like to ask Janine Moore to join us at the stage.
I'd like to invite Josh Ford to the stage, please. Good afternoon. I'm Janine Moore, and I teach the Law and Student Affairs class in the SAHE program. Josh has had two co-advisors in the SAHE program, Dave McElfresh and Pamela Graglia. Unfortunately, neither of them could be here today. So Josh asked me to speak in their place, and I'm truly honored to do so. Thank you for that, Josh. And I'm also honored to offer these comments on behalf of Dave and Pamela. Josh Ford is a first-generation college student for whom attending a university was a life-changing 4 years. Prior to coming to CSU, Josh completed his Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology with a minor in theater at the University of Indianapolis. While Josh was at the University of Indianapolis, he was an assistant residence director, a resident assistant for 2 years, and a summer admissions ambassador. He would tell you that living on campus was crucial to his success as a student, and it helped him become interested in becoming a resident assistant. As a result, Josh fell in love with residence life and the complex facets of the work. He felt strongly that the way diversity and inclusion play a role in our work with students in residence life connected him on a deep and personal level. Josh states in his portfolio, "As a result of much of my own experiences and the experiences of those near me, I believe that residence life has the opportunity to develop students uniquely. As a housing staff member, I'm given the awesome opportunity to help facilitate that growth and development." As a graduate student at CSU, Josh has been an assistant resident director for the past 2 years, supervising 15 resident assistants, advising a hall council, and collaborating with residential learning community academic partners. Josh has taught a course for prospective resident assistants and facilitated skill-building workshops for at-risk students on topics of alcohol, drugs, and decision-making. He was selected for a summer internship at the University of Virginia, and he worked in a practicum in the GLBTQA Resource Center, as well as a practicum in the Conflict Resolution and Student Conduct Services Office. Josh sees his role in his career in student affairs as an advocate for social justice and to work with students in development of skills and inclusion. He would tell you that he loves it when students come into his office and are excited to report a time when they used their diversity training sometime during the week. As someone who identifies as a planner, Josh has created unofficial life maps and plans many times to chart his career trajectory. Graduate school has led Josh to question that trajectory on several occasions, and he has accepted that he doesn't need to know each step. He wants to enjoy the journey, which is a major point of progress for him. Josh will be enjoying his journey as he heads to St. Louis, and one of his goals was to be living geographically closer to his family and friends back home. Just a few weeks ago, Josh accepted a position at St. Louis University as a restorative justice coordinator in their residence life department. Josh, congratulations and welcome to the profession. I would like to invite Jen Johnson to the stage.
All right, CJ, it's time. Come on up. Christian Harrison, or CJ as he is known to me, would tell you that the last 2 years have been a time of immense personal and professional transformation. Professionally, he has learned a new discipline and a new position. Personally, he has come into his own. Prior to starting the SAHE program, CJ completed his Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology here at Colorado State University. He was highly involved as an undergraduate student, participating as an orientation leader, a residence hall desk staff member, a diversity and social justice programmer, a student coordinator for international orientation, a late night preview staff member with campus activities, and on and on and on. Honestly, we were feeling pretty pumped to get him in the program. Upon entering the Student Affairs and Higher Education program at CSU, CJ was hired as an assistant resident director. Working in residence life was something that CJ had never done before, but he really warmed to the task. In spite of his well-honed talents as a semi-professional procrastinator, CJ was highly involved and productive as a graduate student, and honestly, if you ask any one of his faculty or any of his peers, it's amazing what he has accomplished in 2 years. A couple things that he did while he was here. CJ served as a teaching assistant for the Student Development Theory course. This was a wonderful opportunity for CJ to see the inner workings of teaching a graduate course and soak up even more student development theory. His shining moment, in my opinion, was single-handedly teaching the class on gender identity development, integrating personal examples with theory. It's a 3 hours that I will never forget. CJ was also heavily involved with the GLBT community in the past 2 years. He was asked to be one of the co-facilitators for the GLBTQQA leadership retreat this past year, and the experience really reminded CJ of the importance of retreats and the community and solidarity that students can strive to create in themselves. Additionally, CJ was a graduate intern with the Resources for Disabled Students Office. He completed a practicum at Emory University, and he participated in CSU's Men in the Movement program. CJ believes that the best student affairs professionals are skilled at integrating support for a student's personal development into their university experience. In his portfolio, CJ wrote, quote, "As a student affairs professional, I hope to be able to create a space where students can learn who they are and how they fit into the world. In higher education, you are not only learning skills for a career, you are learning skills to function in society, and you are learning about yourself, who you are, who you want to be, and what your place is in the world." CJ, it has been an honor for me and for Dave to serve as witnesses and supports to you on your personal, academic, and professional journey over these past 2 years. I would like to say congratulations on your graduation and welcome to the profession. I'd like to invite Dr. Ann Hudgens to the podium, please.
I'd like to invite Mariah Coles to the stage, please. I'm actually here on behalf of Dr. Lisa Miller, who is Mariah's actual advisor. I spoke with Lisa from the hospital this morning, and I asked her what were the most important things to say about Mariah, and she said, "Tell her I love her." So we had a broader conversation than that as well. But you know what? Maybe that's the heart of it. Mariah, I also have Mariah as a student. I teach the Human Relations in Higher Education class the second semester of their first year. So I may do a little of what Paul did in speaking in my voice and in Lisa's voice. So anyway, I was talking with Lisa this morning, and I was trying to get the information that would fit the template of what the graduation speeches would contain, and she said, "You know what, that may not be most important, tell them to read the program." So what Lisa wanted to talk about was the fact that Mariah has spent 2 years as an assistant residence director on campus, and for those of you who have any acquaintance with a residence hall, what you know is that there's a slice of life that happens there. It's a very busy place. If you can imagine 500 freshmen students under one roof, being supervised by a cadre of undergraduate resident assistants, being supervised by Mariah and the other ARD cohorts. There's a lot that happens in those residence halls. Mariah has been an incredible supervisor. She's worked with the most difficult students. And Lisa said a lot of what Mariah experienced in her first year at CSU was more than most of us professionals might experience in a lifetime. I loved Whitley's quote about this class being turned into diamonds. There was a lot of pressure on this class, and the class experienced a fair amount of tragedies. Mariah was in the direct line of working with those students and did it with grace and dignity and poise and a big heart. What Lisa also wanted to say about Mariah is that she's got a penchant for working with the rascals. The students that are, Lisa said Mariah really deeply held the belief that your identity and your behavior aren't the same, and that Mariah was able to look past the behavior of students who would get themselves in trouble and help them shine with their true identities. And that's really a gift. It's not that easy. Some of them aren't that easy to love. And Mariah's got a gift for that. My old dean of students years and years ago put students into 4 categories: goody goodies, goody baddies, batty goodies, and batty baddies. And Mariah loves them all. So the other thing that Lisa wanted me to be sure to talk about was the fact that Mariah is an incredibly honest person. She will tell the truth. She will seek the truth. She's an inquisitive mind and wants to know what the meaning of things are. So Mariah and I actually had very many conversations last spring, really centered around what does this all mean. So Mariah's a meaning seeker. And I think the last thing that Lisa wanted to make sure that I left you all with and left Mariah with is that the most important word that Lisa sees in Mariah is hope. That Mariah embodies hope. She embodies hope for life, and she will be a gift to the profession. She says it's an incredible time to be in student affairs because Mariah will be joining the profession. Congratulations and welcome to the profession. I'd like to invite Dr. Kyle Oldham to the stage, please.
Good afternoon. Whitley Hadley, will you please join me at the podium? Stand right there. I want to see you. So for all of you that don't know, Whitley is in the top 5 fans for Beyonce. It is true, I assessed it. Whitley Hadley, comma, personal communication, comma, 2015, for all the APA fans. And because of that, Whitley has challenged me to incorporate some of Beyonce's song titles into her graduation recognition speech. Of course, it was really my idea and I accepted the challenge anyway. So I'm gonna try and use air quotes whenever it's a Beyonce song title. But first, we're gonna take our traditional selfie with my telephone.
Yay!
Whitley arrived in Fort Collins via Colorado Springs, where she graduated with her bachelor's in applied communication in women's and ethnic studies from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. Go Mountain Lions. Yeah. When I first met Whitley during the SAHE interview days, I was excited about her passion, her experience, and her energy. Whitley spent her first semester, it seemed, on a countdown, and I wasn't sure to exactly what, but I knew that something wasn't right. Times I would check on it, I saw remnants of a broken-hearted girl who didn't mirror the strong, positive person that I remembered. The catalyst may have been many, but I know for a fact that Whitley found community in the CSU Graduate Students of Color Group, Go SAHE, and most prominently SACN, the Students of Color Network for SAHE. The early Whitney began to disappear as the Whitney standing before us rang the alarm, began to rise up, and embarked on a journey during her time here at CSU in the SAHE program, working for the Slice office as well as her practicum with Langston University. It was like deja vu. I saw the Whitley I knew that was there all along, and she had found her inner diva and ego. And both of those are very good things. And pushed herself to travel out of the country for the first time to Qatar, presented her pilot evaluation in the Graduate Student Showcase, received the Sherwood Scholar Grant, and presented and facilitated at the Black Women's Summit. It wasn't all work, though. Whitley still made time for friends, binge-watched Netflix, karaoke, Zumba, and played video games, maybe like Halo. Whitley has become a grown woman that I can say I care about as a colleague. I was here when you took CSU by storm. It shows by the fact that you were awarded the Don R. Person Graduate Student Award from the Black African American Cultural Center for your work with students on campus. I will miss you. That's real as well, but it's also a song. And know that you will go on to do great things in your new role as the Multicultural Program Coordinator at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And yes, for those of you who know, I'm jealous. You will run the world and live out your sweet dreams of giving back as much as you've received and transforming students to transform the world. You will be flawless till the end of time. You will bring the party to your new position and new staff as you start over as a superpower student affairs professional. Know that you are worthy and can achieve anything you put your mind to. Remember, you are irreplaceable. Listen to your heart and always, always dance for you. Whitley, you successfully passed your portfolio defense, and since I liked it, I'm gonna put a stole on it. Oh. Congratulations and welcome to the profession. Next, I'd like to welcome Dr. Kathy Cisneros to the stage.
Hi, everybody. If I could welcome Beatriz Salazar up. It's a little bright up here. So I would like to, as you have B here, B added me late to her official advising dance card. But once I was asked, I graciously accepted. When I think about B, I think of someone who is tenacious, resilient, authentic, passionate, and committed to social justice. It's been a pleasure to see the growth that B has had over this short 2-year period. B has a lot of pride in where she comes from, who she is, and the values that are core to her being. And I think much of this was fostered during her undergraduate experience. B earned her bachelor's degree from the University of Colorado Denver in psychology with a minor in ethnic studies. During her time at CU Denver, she was a very involved student. She served as a peer advocate, worked in the Hispanic Student Services, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion in the School of Education, and held a variety of leadership positions during her time. What strikes me most when I think about the experiences that B has shared with me is the importance of mentors. The reason B ended up here at CSU in the SAHE program is because of strong Latino mentors she had during undergrad. I think B took much of what she experienced as a student and brought those attributes of those mentors here with her to CSU, and in turn has supported students and the students that she's worked with in the residence halls in a similar and caring fashion. Although B had some unintended beginnings in her assistantship here at CSU, she was able to establish her presence and leadership early on. And is Amanda Dahl here by chance? No, she couldn't make it. Okay. So Amanda was B's first supervisor, and I asked Amanda to share some words on your behalf. And so one of the things is what she shares is when I first met B, she asked me, "Tell me about a mistake that you have made." Well, it took me a while to come up with an example. B was more than happy to share how she took her staff on a hike to the A, which did not turn out as planned. If you don't know this story, I encourage you to ask B. So chatter afterwards. It is a connection point for that 2013-2014 Allison Hall staff that they still talk about today. This story was a glimpse into the authenticity that B brings wherever she goes. With no prior residence life experience, B hit the ground running in her assistantship as the assistant residence director for Allison Hall. From the moment I arrived, 1 month after RA training, it was clear that B had built a cohesive team and was willing to give of herself and make sure that her team did not suffer even though she did not have a direct supervisor in the community. Over the 2-ish years that I've had the privilege to work with B, it is clear that she is passionate about access to education, has worked hard to make lasting connections with students, both residents and students, and the students she supervises. In her student interactions, B provides questions, guidance, support, and laughter that I know will have a lasting impact. So I appreciate Amanda contributing. As I read the story on behalf of Amanda, it also highlights one of the qualities I enjoy most about Beatrice. B walks through life with a sense of determination and tenacity that will serve her well as she advocates for young people that she'll be working with as she starts a new position as a guidance counselor / family liaison / teacher at Eagle Rock School in Estes Park. In closing, Beatrice, as you venture into your first professional position and continue to build a fulfilling personal life, I hope that you can move forward listening to your own voice and heart. Your journey will be so much more fulfilling when you allow your voice to be the loudest in determining who you want to be in this world. But you have a lot to offer others, and you get to choose what energy and voices are going to be your driving force. You get to choose when humility is more important than pride, when following what you know is right is more important than proving others wrong. I hope you pursue a life that comes from a place of passion, love, and justice, because these are qualities that you believe and value. Thank you for inviting me to be a small part of your journey, and congratulations. If I could invite Bianca Bello up to the stage. So Carla Perez Velez, where is Carla? Here. I was like, I can't see her. So Carla and I had the pleasure of co-advising Bianca for the past 2 years, and so this will be on behalf of the two of us. There's little question that we got to be a part of a wonderful and at times challenging journey. At the end of Bianca's first year, she had a deep personal loss and made her question whether, I don't know if I'm gonna get through this today, and made her question whether in finishing the SAHE program continued to be the right path. She is undoubtedly a strong and courageous individual, and it's been an honor to support Bianca as best we could as she grieved and processed all that she was feeling and experiencing. You know that Becca's here with you in spirit. Carla and I remain steadfast in our commitment to Bianca with the continued hope, some gentle nudges, and a few hard questions to encourage her to remain in the program. Thankfully, she did just that. I want to back up a little bit. Bianca comes to us by the way of Boston, Massachusetts, where she earned her bachelor's degree from Suffolk University in sociology with a minor in women's and gender studies. During her time at Suffolk, Bianca was actively involved in the university community, serving as a resident assistant and orientation leader, while also being selected as a McNair Scholar and an Aspen Undergraduate Fellow. As a first-gen high school student and a first-gen college student, it's clear that Bianca's time at Suffolk was deeply transformative. Bianca is a thoughtful and reflective individual who seeks to center on the voices of those who are silenced while actively seeking to assist students on a one-to-one basis. It's likely that much of this is reflective of her own undergraduate experience, where Bianca learned firsthand the value of the many support systems that college can offer, and where she was empowered to find her own voice and embrace all aspects of her identities. During these past 2 years, Bianca worked in apartment life for her assistantship. One of the programs that Bianca was regularly responsible for coordinating were the weekly FAC, or the Friday Afternoon Club. Bianca talks about this being the highlight of her experience in apartment life. It was a regular opportunity to personally connect with residents, engage in community and learning, and Bianca loves to ask questions and loves even more to listen to other people's stories and experiences. She also had 2 valuable practicum experiences, one with Front Range Community College and the other with our retention coordinator for some of our scholarship students here at CSU. Both practicums helped to solidify for Bianca that she thrives in supporting students in a more one-to-one setting. Further, each opportunity allowed her to engage with students who have been historically underserved and sometimes underprepared for the work within a college environment. Having the chance to intentionally engage with students who reflect some of her more salient identities was rewarding and a humble reminder of why this work matters to her. Bianca carries a quiet strength, has a wonderful conviction of character and a kind heart, and is steadfast in her commitment to social justice, which serves her well, and I know will serve her students well in the future. As Carla puts it, and I definitely agree, I am confident Bianca will make a difference in students' lives with her thoughtful demeanor and deep sense of care. I look forward to seeing her work ripple throughout our field, excited to see where she will land in the future. Carla goes on to share, wherever Bianca chooses to go, we know those individuals would have selected a qualified, strong, and composed presence to support students. I am truly grateful to have worked with and seen Bianca grow. She has taught me patience with self and strength. She will forever be remembered as my first SAHE graduate student, and I will carry San Francisco with me wherever I go. Lastly, I know it's important for Bianca to be a strong role model for her siblings, and I hope you know that you are probably, I hope that she knows that you probably has long been that already, and that you continue to be one. I hope that she stands a little bit taller today, and for all that you have accomplished. I too have been proud to serve as one of your mentors or one of your advisors, and I look forward to staying in touch, supporting you along your career, and hearing about the many wonderful adventures, personally and professionally. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Congratulations. I'd like to invite up Dr. Paul Thayer.
I was fortunate, along with Dr. Albert Bimper, to co-advise the student who I now invite to join me on the stage, Jeffrey Anthony Perkins. If you've been following your program closely, you probably wondered which version of Jeffrey was going to join me on the stage. This is the older version. I saw Jeffrey yesterday at the graduate ceremony, and Jeffrey told me that he had woken up that morning to realize that, thinking, oh, I have to meet with my advisor. Of course, he didn't have to any longer. I kept waiting for him to say, well, that was a really good dream, but it might have been a nightmare, I'm not sure. Jeffrey joined us here, coming proudly from his home in West Englewood, Chicago, and his undergraduate experience at DePaul University, where he came as part of a posse with J.R. Rosario, posse being a wonderful, wonderful program. In our earliest conversation, he shared about his long trip across the country, driving to this godforsaken place, as he saw it at the time, all the while questioning whether the decision to join SAHE instead of accept a lucrative position in the corporate world was indeed his life's worst decision. But indeed, here at CSU and in SAHE, Jeffrey has produced a stellar academic record. In addition, he's been graduate assistant, department life manager in Aggie Village. He's performed practica in the Office of the Vice President for Diversity, planning the High School Diversity Conference, in the Office of Conflict Resolution and Student Conduct Services as University Hearing Officer. He served in a supplemental internship as Fraternity Graduate Advisor, and he's displayed thoughtfulness in his classes, even willing to venture far outside his comfort zone for the Qatar International Field Experience. He early adopted a theme for his portfolio, tying reflections and insights from classes and professional experience to themes from the music and verse of Kanye West. I knew I would be enjoying his originality and thoughtfulness right from his very first reflection, which challenged the ways we usually think about student development and applying the W.E.B. Du Bois theory of double consciousness. Indeed, his final portfolio, which he entitled Beyond Black and White, The Man, the Myth, and the Bow Tie, presented accumulated portfolio reflections, providing a thoughtful summation of a very rich experience across his 2 years. Jeffrey was not just on time. He was always ahead of time, a challenge to at least one of his advisors. He has a notable inclination in new situations to approach them first with skepticism, then with outright challenge, then with a flurry of questioning and challenging, and then creative resolution. This is his process of finding and making meaning. He ends all of this with new approaches and new understanding, and in the process, ever-deepening commitment to the students he is serving, whether they be international students, traditional students, Greek fraternity men, or students of color. Jeffrey sees himself as a cultivator, as a facilitator for a cycle of liberation. What matters most in his view is believing that overcoming obstacles is an obtainable goal. He has said that he is finishing his degree program a changed man. He is certainly a person who will make a positive difference for the organizations and people around him wherever he finds himself. Jeffrey begins his career in Seattle as residence director at the University of Washington. Both there and wherever your path may take you, we wish you well, Jeffrey. Both Albert and I wish you the very best, along with everyone gathered here, and welcome you warmly to the profession. Congratulations. Thank you. I'd like to reintroduce you to somebody that you met just a little earlier. There is literally no one, anywhere in this country, who better exemplifies the very best of student affairs. More than that, the ability to lead powerfully with a light and loving hand. We are indeed fortunate to have her as the embodiment of integrity, of commitment, and belief in students. Please welcome for our closing, Dr. Blanche Hughes, the Vice President for Student Affairs.
So I just have a few closing remarks, so we're almost at the end, right? First of all, SAHE graduates, this is indeed your special time, and a special time for all of us. You really are to be congratulated for your accomplishments, which you have been, but also, I want to say as a leader of the division and a leader at the university, how much we appreciate what you have given us. This has not been a one-way here. You have also taught us, and you have also left a legacy here for the university. So I first want to say that to all of you. You've completed your formal studies, and you'll be using your talents, things that you've learned, continue to make personal contributions to student success and to the betterment of the communities that you're going to work with. But I had an experience this morning that I think really sums all of what we do up, and especially for the family and friends out there, because I know you've heard a lot about what the students have done while they've been here, and some of you might still be just a little confused about, now what exactly do they do? What are they gonna be doing? I've been married, I've been doing this for over 30 years, and my husband still asks me sometimes, now what? And why are you doing that? So this morning, my husband and I went out to breakfast, little restaurant near campus called Lucille's. Has Creole food. That's what he wanted. We knew it was going to be a wait because it's a little house and there's always a wait there, especially graduation weekend. So, I got settled on a rock to sit because for the 30 minutes we were going to have to wait outside. And we're just sitting there. And all of a sudden I hear this person say, "Oh my God, it's her." And I'm like, "Ooh, who?" So I look at him and he's pointing to me, to another man he's talking to, and he runs over and he says, "I don't remember your name, but you're that woman that spoke to us when we brought our daughter here 4 years ago, and she just graduated. Aren't you that woman?" And I'm like, "That works with students." I said, "Yep, that probably would be me, yep." And he just went on to say, "I have to tell you that my daughter had an incredible 4-year experience here. They're from California. And he said the whole experience, but the way we care about students is incredible. And he asked me, he says, if you get a chance, could you share with your staff that I know all of you all work so hard, and you do really hard work in working with our students. He said, but you make it seem so easy, that it seems effortless in terms of how you support our students. Would you share that? And so as you think about the incredible responsibility that you now have, but it's also it's incredibly rewarding, because basically what we do, and it's a great reminder to staff, to our faculty, is that we make positive differences in people's lives. If you can't remember exactly what job they have, remember that when someone asks you, what's your child or your partner or your family member doing? What do? You could say, they make positive differences in people's lives that help to make this world a better place. That's an incredible thing that they do. So, know that we are all very proud of you. We are proud of you joining the SAHE group of alums, me being one of those. You will always be part of our CSU Student Affairs program and family, and the CSU Student Affairs program and family will always be a part of you. In a few minutes, we would like to invite all of you to join us for a reception and toast immediately following the ceremony. But for right now, would all of our graduating students please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present the SAHE graduating class of 2015.
Hello, everybody. So I didn't prepare any official remarks. I would just like to thank a few people in particular. First off, I'll start with my advisor, Mike Ellis. Just like to say thank you so much for all your support and guidance through the last couple years. Mike just was really there for me when I needed to talk to somebody and really helped get me through some of those transitional phases of the program, especially last year. Also, Ann Hudgens, if she's still here, she sat on my committee as an internal member, so I'd like to thank her. She was really great as an internal committee member. Also, Jody and Oscar for the great experience we had in Qatar and helping out with teaching the class. It was a really wonderful experience, so I'd like to thank them also. My family's here. I'd like to thank them for coming to support me from Pennsylvania. Even though I'm a non-traditional graduate student, they came all the way out here to support me. It's pretty awesome. So, and then also the cohort. I'd like to thank everybody in the cohort. You're just such an amazing group of people. I can't express how special the group is. Tolu, yeah, you in particular. She was going, no, I'm just kidding. But this group of individuals is just amazing. I can't tell you just how honored I have been to study with them and struggle with them and get to this point. It really has been a pleasure and an honor for me to be a part of this group. And then finally, and most importantly, my partner, Julie. I couldn't have done it without her support. She was always there for me when I needed to talk, even though she's a middle school guidance counselor and she probably had plenty of conversations about other people's problems all day. I would come home and she would still give me the ear that I needed when I needed to just kind of process through what this experience was. and obviously she also helped give me, a son a couple days ago. So that was, obviously the coolest graduation present that anybody could ever get. So I'd like to really make sure to end on thanking Julie, because her support was paramount to my success in this program. So thank you very much, Julie. And thank you all the rest of the faculty also. It has been a wonderful experience studying with you, learning from you, traveling to the other side of the world with many of you. It really has been, the experience I was looking for. So I'd like to just say thank you to everybody. So thank you.
Okay, hi everybody, how are you doing? Good. Yeah, oh. Before we start, I just want to let you all know that a couple of you have mentioned and said that I did a good job on my graduation cap. It's now on sale for $500 if you want to buy it from me to help me move, just to let you know. Okay, great. So first of all, I'd like to thank my family, both for supporting me through the 2 years and for letting me move so far away. I'm sorry I'm moving even further west. And also sorry for those phone calls that said I was calling saying I wanted to quit the program many, many times. Thank you. So we're here. We're at the finish line. Thank you to my advisors, Jody and Jason, for being there through all the ups and downs. If I had $1 for every time I said that I hated reflecting or writing my portfolio, I'd have a lot of dollars. So just thank you for being part of my journey, for all the edits to my portfolio, and for being with me in my growth of self-confidence and self-acceptance. To my whole committee, thanks for passing me. One, I appreciate it. And sincerely, thank you for all that you've brought to the table and for giving me the best feedback there is. To my unofficial advisors, my mentors, my Kathys, my Bridgets, my Carlas, my Ashleys, my Angelicas, my Heathers, thank you for spending the extra time with me, answering my questions, and making me smile. You've taught me crucial things like how to throw shade on Twitter. Kathy, I'm talking to you. But most of all, you've talked me through some important moments in my life, and I appreciate it. To my supervisors, my Tell It Like It Is crew, Teresa and Kyle, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done. I remember 2 years ago during interview weekend when you Jedi mind tricked me into working for Residence Life. That turned out to be the best Jedi mind trick ever. And I'm so glad I got to be your supervisee for the past 2 years. I know it's weird to call you my pseudo work parents, but I'm sorry you all are, so I love you both. To my SAHE unicorns, this group has meant so much to me than I can ever imagine, and has helped me start to understand what it means to be a Black woman. We've had some good times, from discussing inclusive to eating a lot of Chinese food, so I'm just going to miss having that built-in fellowship. And also to another group I was part of, the journal board. I actually brought a copy of the journal so y'all could see what it looks like. It's beautiful. Yeah, I just wanted to show it off. We did a hard work and a good job. And so thank you for letting me be part of the team and part of the editing team as well. I have a Ram family that I love so freaking much who have gotten me through this program. My Ram daughters, Samara and Erin, are literally the best ever, and it made me laugh and just made me think so many times over. So thank you for teaching me how to be a mentor and not yelling at me when I was making the playlist and try to put Nicki Minaj's album on there. Being silly, that would have been a little inappropriate. It's fine. Josh, you are my rock and my forever friend, my main reason that I'm here. I'd say don't leave me, but you're kind of tired of me saying that already. But so it's time. We've got to go. We've talked about this moment since day one. So this isn't goodbye. This is I'll see you soon. Shout out to the first year cohort for being amazing, ethics students and good friends. A special shout out to Lauren and Pam for being my work sisters, and members of my cohort who've had to deal with me up close. You all are going to rock it next year. And last but not least, to my cohort. So they say that teasing is a form of love, and I hope so, because I've been teased so many times during this year and called so many names. Like, some of you all call me Yala, which you all know what that means. It's not great. But I know it's out of love, so to the class of 15, my people, I love you too. Thank you.
Hi, I think I'm next. So, yes. I would like to say thank you to Deanna Lewis, Craig Cheston, and Janine Moore, who interviewed me when I was coming into SAHE. Thank you all so much. Craig, who is not here, I asked him to be on my committee as a way of symbolism. He interviewed me coming in, and I wanted him to interview me going out. To my committee, thank you so much for you all. Everybody who is a part of my journey, advising me. I've had a couple advisors, so thank you all so much. I have learned so much from every single one of you. My Residence Life family, who Amanda Dahl, who is my supervisor, who also couldn't be here because she's opening right now. I love her to pieces. She means the world to me, so if you all can pass on the message, I'd really appreciate it. She has no idea how much she means to me. My RAs, I cried when they were leaving today. It was really sad. To my SAHE cohort, I will never forget the lessons learned from throwing shade from Jeffrey to opening my heart from Tolu Taiwo. Thank you all so much for everything, all the lessons learned. I appreciate every single one of you. Every single one of you has taught me something. SAHE professors, thank you all so much. And my SAHE people, thank you all so much for bearing with me in my honest moments. I know I can be extremely honest sometimes. Sorry, I was supposed to come prepared. Didn't happen. A mi familia, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Los quiero mucho. Espero que estén orgullosos de mí y que sea alguien que ustedes puedan ver y decir, yo quiero ser como ustedes cuando crezcan. Daisy, Luisito, I hope to see you all soon, getting your master's degrees. So, Toto, you too. Thank you all so much to my Ram family, who also cannot be here. Man, a lot of people can be here. Thank you all so much. Ginny is on duty, so good luck to her. And then my Ram pal, Samara, I don't know where you went. Oh, hi, I love you. Thank you so much for being there for me in the good times and the bad. I will miss you so much, but I'm only going to be in Estes, so there's a room for you there. Thank you all. Have a good night.
So for everyone that knows me, public speaking isn't my forte. So I'm a woman of few words. I'd first like to start by thanking my advisor, Dr. Kathy Cisneros, for endless conversations, for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Seriously couldn't have had a better advisor throughout this experience. Dr. Kathy Cisneros and we met during the interview weekend, and she interviewed me for the program, and I just felt an instant connection to her, and I just felt really comfortable with her in that moment. So huge thank you to Kathy, and to all the faculty and staff who share endless knowledge with us and who inspire us to be better professionals. Much appreciated. To my entire cohort for sticking with me and for being open to all of my silly energy, dancing in class and taking selfies, and I just appreciate the openness that you all have for what I bring to the table. To Rebecca, who I also refer to as Becca, thank you for always pushing me and always believing in me. You really inspire me to do better and to be a better person in this world, so thank you for always sticking with me. To my dog, Buddy, thank you for always greeting me at the door with a nice warm embrace and open arms. To my family, both biological and chosen, thank you for supporting me throughout the past 2 years. I couldn't have gotten this degree alone, so I appreciate all the love and support and energy that you share with me. Much appreciated. And with that, I will close with words of Ann Hudgens, "We are all bozos on the bus."
Hey. So I too didn't really prepare anything, but there are a lot of words on my heart from a lot of awesome people who put them there. So I think, first off, I have to thank everybody that currently works in and has worked in the Slice office here at CSU. I came here from Front Range Community College. I transferred, and it was a pretty weird time in my life. I had a lot going on, a lot changed, and I feel like y'all made the landing softer. You made the big campus seem a lot smaller and helped me learn about myself a ton. So thank you so much. Particularly Jen, I don't know if you're still here, but Jen Johnson, she's helped me through these last 2 years a lot. I've loved the ability to just kind of show up in her office, sit down, and talk about everything that's going on. And Mike Ellis, you've been a huge support from one of the first days that I really wanted to seek out student affairs in this program in particular. You're recommended as a person to talk to, and so I did, and I'm really glad that I did. You've provided me incredible, invaluable guidance through this whole program and helped me to grow a lot. Yeah, everybody, all my cohort mates, y'all are amazing people. Thank you so much for sharing this crazy 2 years, this incredible 2 years with me, for supporting me, challenging me, for being able to ask the tough questions and have a lot of fun, be goofy, be silly when we needed to, for sure. Yeah. I don't know, I think it's just, it's so awesome to be able to be at the end of this journey, and I have to thank my mom. We've been through a ton, and 10 years ago, right? Like, no way would you ever have thought that I would be up here at this podium saying anything like this. And so it's pretty special. So thanks, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I didn't write anything because I wrote one earlier, so I decided to. I didn't think I would be doing it. No, I'm just kidding. I want to say thank you to my cohort, my best friends in particular, Bianca, I love you to death, Ashley, Jonathan, you all know what you mean to me, so thank you for these last 2 years, seriously. And then I want to say thank you to the women in my life, and by the women in my life, I mean my mom, my sisters. I have 3 older sisters. My aunt is back there, one of my cousins. So I come from a long line of just strong women, and for a long time in my life, I didn't have any male role models, so I always looked to them for help. And then on March 27, 2012, I lost my grandmother, who was my heart and my joy, and for a long time, there was this void that was there, and I felt like she was the only person who could understand me. And I never gave anybody else a chance to feel that until I came to Colorado State and I met some of my best friends in this room, so thank you.
All right, so I have some things to say. Good, step one, right? And so, thank you. So it's really hard to capture all the growth and all of the positive experiences, struggles that I've had here at SAHE, and there all have been things that have made me a better person, and I just wanted to thank a few people. So I'll start with my family. I have the most loving and supportive family I can ask for. They even pretend to believe me when I say, I'll move back to the East Coast next year. It's been 6 years. All right. I'm still a Brooklynite, I promise. I mean, really, I refuse to say certain words around people because I know they will call me out for my New York accent. So when I'm around people, I don't like to say, or some people in particular that would make fun of me, I don't like to say the word H2O or the word that typically is used for H2O, or a furry pet that I want to own that starts with a D. And so Speaking of my family, my sister who's here today, she's been a really great role model for me personally and professionally. I can't think of many people who work as hard as she does, and I definitely grew up knowing that college wasn't an option. One, because my parents told me, and so I'm like, fine, check. And because I saw how she did it with such poise and hard work. And I mean, I guess NYU is pretty impressive, so she's pretty cool. The next part, I wanted to talk about DePaul. And so easily where I did most of my growing when it comes to understanding my identities and the roles that they play in this adventure we call life. All right, so I won't cry because that's exhausting. I did it for 2 hours, I promise, it's exhausting. So at DePaul, I met two wonderful people who are in this room today, and it's just been significant parts of my experience at CSU. So Herman, I just wanted to say that I appreciate your wisdom and your mentorship. You didn't give up on me when I was dramatically, I know, shocking, walk into your office and say as a student, I'm dropping out just because I don't know how to study. Or didn't like to study, I should probably be more honest about that. I hope that you know that you were easily the first professional who inspired me to go into this field. And although our semester check-ins are not enough time, now that I'm staying at CSU for the long term, we're gonna have to make a little bit of time. And so, Jeffrey, 6 years of having you as a friend, an RA staff partner in crime, and now SAHE, it's hard to find the words to describe how special your friendship is to me. You pick on me, although I'm not the only person that can say that, so. You challenge me to be a better person and professional, and you provide lots of love and support, and tough love, which is something that I appreciate. Sometimes you just need to hear it. I can go on forever, but just want to thank you for being in my life and making this transition to SAHE and the journey itself much more enjoyable. So I'll go a little quicker. Cool. So in terms of Res Life, I just wanted to thank Jackie. You're easily the best person I've ever had the opportunity to work with, and I can say that with confidence. When you're the president of a university, will you hire me? Thanks. I can't express how much your support and care transforms the world and transforms me. And I'm just so thankful that I don't have to say bye, but to see you again. And just wanting you to know that you're a role model to me, and I just enjoy everything you've done for me. Terry, you're a superhuman. I'm so grateful to have you as a mentor, and thank you for supporting me in all I do and letting me know what concerts are happening. Literally in every state, every city, she knows what concerts are happening. Presenting with Tolu and I on Scandal, the TV show, and ethics and leadership. There's a lot of ethics on the TV show Scandal. Did you see the finale? It's crazy. Anyway, so, okay, cool. So other faculty that have really touched my life, Kathy, Laura, everything that you've done for me, all the times that you've pushed me and supported me are things that I don't say thank you for enough, and I just know that it means a lot. And my cohort, I mean, I can't thank everybody specifically, but just wanted to make sure that Tolu, Whitley, Ashley, and Josh know how much they mean to me and their experience here. I've been a better person because of our friendship. And so, yeah, and my advisors, of course, I mean, they're the ones that, thank you for being on my committee and passing me, that was great, thanks. And just know that every time that you've pushed me to go harder in my writing and in my reflection of my experiences, I've become a better writer because of it, so just wanted to thank everybody. And other faculty members, Jody, Jen, and Ann, you've been a big part of my experience, so.
Hi, everyone. First, thank you all for coming and for supporting all the people in the room that you love. For me, it's a big deal to be standing before you with the title of a master. I really didn't think I was gonna see this day, so I'm incredibly thankful for all the people in my life who helped me arrive. The last 2 years were filled with many moments of joy, but also tremendous doubt. And for any of you who have ever doubted yourself, I want to encourage you to find people to inspire you, because that's what helped me make it here. The people who love me are the ones who I look to every time I think I can't make it. Every time I felt alone, there was someone there to support me. Every time I felt inadequate, there was someone who believed in me. Every time I thought it was impossible, someone was there to show me I was capable. So thank you all for helping me earn this degree. I'm very proud of what it represents, but I think it means more than just being able to do what I'm passionate about. It really represents all the people who love me in my life. But I wouldn't be here without you. I'd like to give a special thank you to Paul, to Craig, to Zach, to Amber, to Lucia, to Caitlin, and to my professors. I'd like to thank the mentors who aren't in this room, and for those of you who are. I'd like to thank my family for being patient with me. And I'd like to thank my friends for letting me cry with you. And I'd like to thank my students for keeping me passionate and for reminding me where my heart is. And I'd like to thank all of you who love the people in this room. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'll try and keep this short and sweet. Most people who know me know I'm not a person of many words, so I like to keep things brief and short, so I'll go out that way as well. First of all, I'd like to thank Mike Ellis, my advisor. Thank you for helping me get through these 2 years. I'd like to thank my committee, Ann Hudgens, who was my internal member, if she's still here, and Dr. Chavez, who was in the psychology department. I'd like to thank the conflict resolution and student conduct services staff, specifically Melissa Emerson and Mike Katz, my supervisors who are here with me today, so thank you for being here. I'd like to thank the SAHE planning team. It's been a fun 2 years. Casey, Kim, Dave, Ashley, have really enjoyed working with you all. Would also like to thank my family and friends, my parents, and Greg, who are with me today, who traveled to be here. I wouldn't be where I am today without the influence of the work that you've done and continue to do in the field of student affairs and in higher education. And lastly, thank you to my cohort. You all are amazing, and I can't wait to see where all of us end up and what we end up doing with our futures.
Hello, everyone. No elaborate words here either. I'm still struggling with words after 4 years of studying the language and 2 years of graduate school. I would like first to thank God for all his blessings, and as we have a saying in my religion, he who doesn't thank people doesn't thank God. So I would like to thank my family for being here, and my dad for his wonderfully elaborate trick that brought me all the way from Saudi Arabia, and my cohort know the story. And for my sister for being here too. And I would like to thank all the SAHE people, faculty and staff and cohort, and all the people who helped me and support me here. I would like to conclude with some words from my advisor, Dr. Blanche. She once told me that some words that restored my faith in myself and in the work that I'm doing, which is I'm the only one who's the expert in my journey. So thank you all.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to start at the beginning and thank my family for helping me get here today and always telling me to follow my passions. Really appreciate that support and that love, and for being patient through SAHE when it took me 2 weeks to call you back, or weeks to respond to things because we were crazy and stressed and busy. So just thanks for that love and support and encouragement. I also want to thank everyone here at CSU. CSU has been my home for the last 7 years throughout undergrad. They also gave me my first professional job after undergrad as an admission counselor, and then they kept me here for SAHE, and I just cannot thank all the professionals enough, all the professionals that crossed my path, both as an undergraduate student, as far back as my freshman year, all the way to the professionals that crossed paths with me throughout this graduate program. You all have led me to this field and this career, and so I just thank you for your examples and also for your support in these last 2 years. If I do leave CSU, it's going to be really, really difficult, and as Jody said earlier, once a Ram, always a Ram, and so I know that I have a family here to return to if that ever presents itself. So thank you to all the professionals. Thank you to the faculty and staff in the program for sticking with us and supporting all of us as a cohort, for your knowledge and expertise. I think the scholar practitioner model of this program has been very insightful and very rewarding. And so I thank you for balancing both your professional careers and being a faculty member for all of us. I'd like to close by thanking the cohort. And so what I did with a few others, last week we created a list of one-liners. And so these are one-liners, one for each member of the cohort. And so I'm gonna say the line, and then you all have to determine who that line comes from. So the first one, can I help you? Tolu. Next, I don't got time. JR. Next. All right, everyone, let's get a picture. Kristen. Next. They're going to be twerk? Jeffrey. Next. Bouquet. Josh. I have 2.5 questions. Sam. This next one is not necessarily a line, but a title that is often read off. Graduate Assistant in RAM Events, FGA of Sigma Nu, SAHE grad, and Journal Board Managing Editor for Coordination. Ashley. Quite a long title. Next, I'm curious about this piece around Neve. The next one I cannot imitate, and it's not a line, but it is a very audible and awesome laugh. Whitley. Right? Right? Brandon. I know I'm taking up a lot of space right now, but that would be Christian. This is a member of our cohort who is not graduating with us, but we made a line for this person anyway. So if I wanted to be buff again, Henry, honorable mention. They trying to be like Mike? Rob. The next one. What? Sam Sickbert. Happy-tan. Bianca. This next one is very recent, and I think they've left, but during our last presentation of the semester, this line, my wife just went into labor. Matt. Go team. Mariah. And finally, I don't do feelings. B. So to the cohort, thank you all so much for your laughter, for crying together, for being stressed together. You have been a wonderful group of people to be around, and I wish you all the best of luck as you travel across the world and across the U.S. for your positions. And so finally, as part of my SAHE experience, I had the opportunity to go to Bulgaria, and I picked up a little bit of Bulgarian. And so if you could all raise your glasses, and a toast to all the wonderful people in this room who have made this SAHE experience possible. We're going to say cheers in Bulgarian, and it's pronounced nastrave. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, nastrave.
Again. So I did prepare something, but neither my phone nor the printer in my office is cooperating. So hopefully I don't forget anybody. I'd love to thank the faculty in the program, especially Kathy and Lance, for opening my eyes to a world I didn't know about and awakening a passion inside of me for social justice that I can't forget now. So thank you. To Tiffany, who a year ago thanked her mentors, but I don't think she ever really realized she was one of my biggest mentors. And had you moved any further than 2 floors above me, I'm not sure what I would have done. To Casey for your constant positivity, your help with my committee, FGA stuff, and just when I needed someone to talk to. To Kim for being there for literally everything, and you do it with such grace and positivity, so thank you. I'd like to thank the professional staff and campus activities in the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life and SAHE planning team for all you've done to help me grow and get to this point. The last 2 years wouldn't have been, how do I say this? The last 2 years wouldn't have been as meaningful without the professional experiences to back up what I learned in the classroom. So thank you. To my SOCN family, for those of you who've been wondering what that means, Students of Color Network, thank you for being my family here at CSU. To the faculty members who advise us for opening your homes to us, for cooking great soul food or listening to R&B jams, whatever it was, and just providing a space for all of us. To Leah, who has left already, for being here and being, oh, she's here, hello, for spending her birthday here. Thank you for everything you did, for being on my committee, for pushing me, and always having faith in me even when I didn't have faith in myself. To my cohort, I love you all. I couldn't have gone through this program without you. There's a few of you in particular, you know who you are, who have gotten me through this. Thank you. I really just couldn't have done it without you. To my family, who has listened to me cry incessantly over the last 2 weeks as I get ready to end this, who, as Blanche said, still has no idea what I do on a daily basis, but still has managed to stick by my side through all of this. I really hope I didn't forget anybody. So thank you, and goodbye.
Yay, you can see me over the podium, bonus. Okay, so I'll try not to take up a lot of space. But in true CJ fashion, I haven't really compiled anything, so we're going to go with the role. So I want to start off that if I don't mention you, but you know that we've connected over the past 2 years and beyond that, know that I'm speaking to you throughout this as well. So way to laugh at me. Great, thanks. Love the love, too. So I would love to do a shout out to my committee, including Dave Mack, who couldn't be here today, unfortunately, but also Jen Johnson, who put up with me contacting her and calling her endlessly, particularly the day before my defense, and asked her if I was going to pass or not, because I thought I was going to fail. And just taking that time. To my family who could be here today, I've put a lot on you the past few years, and I really appreciate you sticking in there through it all with that. Random shout out, but I want to do a shout out to Lance, who helped me understand the intricacies of men's suit fashions over the past 2 years and understand how to compile a suit pretty effectively. I really enjoyed those times, and I needed that space away. To all my non-SAHE Fort Collins folks, as well as beyond that, who have kept me sane the past few years and allowed me space away from the cohort to disconnect. My cohort knows that I don't hang around at the weekends. I'm typically going out with somebody else. And on that note, I'd like to do a shout out to my cohort. Thank you all for letting me be the hot mess express that I am. Thank you for letting me text you to find out where our classes are, where our graduation is, what time I need to be there. Thank you for telling me 10 minutes ahead of time so that you know that I'll be on time for that. Special shout out to Tolu and JR, who have put many endless all-nighters in over the past 2 years with me and helped me graduate on time. And JR, my work husband, who I could always call when I'm on duty and just needing a time to process what the heck I was going to do with my life. Yeah, just thank you. I seriously didn't think, at a point last year, I really didn't think I would be here today. So to all of you that have impacted my life, you have no idea how much you mean to me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Well, it is difficult to follow such nice speeches, so I thought I would start off by doing a musical tribute to Judy Garland. So, if you'll hit the music, please. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Of course, we have to start with the tap number. So, oh, no, okay. So, no. So, in other news, this is the first time in SAHE that I've used note cards to present. So, there's a first time for everything, so I thought I'd give it a try before we wrap it all up. So, in all seriousness, the past 2 years have been extremely challenging for me, and there were several times that I did not know if I would finish the program. So I would like to give a big shout out and a thank you to those in the room who have supported me through this journey. So I'll start with my committee, Dave, Pamela, Janine, and Lisa. Thank you for your hours of reading and for pushing me to continue to dig deeper. To my family, thank you for your patience with me and understanding. Thank you to my law group, Whitley and Neve. Your friendship and collaboration means the world to me. A shout out to my supervisor, Robin, who has taught me so much about life and what it means to be a leader. I would like to thank Tolu. We've been through so much together these past 2 years, from our humble beginnings of going to McAllister's nearly every Thursday after student development theory, usually in tears. And now that we're here, I don't know how I could have made it here without you. You're a family to me, and so this is not goodbye, this is see you soon. And lastly, to the cohort, thank you for your patience and grace. I am better because of you. Thanks so much.
Sorry, that's my laugh. Okay, so similar to the rest of my cohort, and we like to wing it. I decided to read what I have in here because I felt like that would be the best to just remember all of the people who I wanted to thank. So feel free to follow along with the story. No, but anyway, so the SAHE experience really has been a transformative experience for me, and as Kyle pointed out in his Beyonce tribute, it's definitely gone for me from the beginning and just really not enjoying being in SAHE because it was very challenging and just a lot of new experiences with transitioning to CSU and then trying to find new friends and actually coming into Neve and Brandon know this because they're my slice buddies. We all came in together, but definitely coming in this experience saying, I don't need new friends, I have friends. So definitely coming in with that perspective and really having all of that changed and kind of throwing myself really into this entire experience after that first semester. That first semester I was, no. But after that, really throwing myself into it. So I'm just gonna do my thank yous to certain people. So I think my Slice family first, because Slice has been an amazing assistantship for me. So being in that office has been an amazing opportunity with so many amazing, thoughtful, I don't even have enough words, but anyway, a lot of people in that space who really want you to critically engage with so many different elements and always having conversations. So I thank my Slice family. I thank my supervisor, Herman Diaz, right over here. Herman has definitely seen me grown the most, I think, from coming in like really excited to just being super, I don't even know what word we would use to describe me during those low times, but Herman's been there and has really been a mentor to me. Although he's my supervisor, he's been a mentor and a confidant, and I've told him so many things, and he's helped me process so much throughout this journey. I think my advisor, Dr. Kyle Oldham, he's amazing. He's positively challenged me. Herman knows this also. I always left our advising meetings like, oh, I can't do this, which seems bad, but it's not, because that's just how I process. I need people to challenge me, and Kyle has done that for me. And he's also really reinforced being fierce all the time, so I really thank Kyle for that. I thank my committee members, Dr. Kathy Cisneros and Dr. Albert Bemper, because they also were positively challenging throughout this entire experience and have really pushed me to believe in myself through all of my identities and then as a scholar, so I really appreciate them. I think my RAM partner, Neve O'Shea, right over there, that's my RAM best friend, my RAM partner, my RAM everything, and she's been there for me since, like, what was it, day 2? So day 2, when I met Neve, and I thought she hated me, but she didn't, because we're here. So I really thank Neve, because she has been there throughout this entire experience, and I'm going to stop there, because I felt it. And I also thank Jeffrey Perkins and JR. Those are like my brothers, and I hope no one ever gets hold of our group me, because we talk a lot of mess towards each other. That would be really embarrassing if it got out. I thank my RAM kids, Steven and Jessica. I don't really see you. So I thank them because they always keep a smile on my face, and they always just keep me grounded in thinking like I was there just 1 year ago, so I really thank them. I thank my Saucon family, the Saucon unicorns. You've really helped me grow in my identity and really understanding what it means, as Toli was saying, to be a black woman, especially a black woman here at a predominantly white institution. So I really thank Saucon for being there and really pushing me and helping me process through so much. And then I think this table right over here, which is my brother Xavier, my mom Zanetta, and I think my best friends who are here, Chia and Ashley, because I couldn't have done it without them, and they heard me complain so much. So I thank them so much for being here today. It means so much to me, and I am excited for this next journey, and thank you. That's all I'll say.
All right, so following Whitley in public speaking is something that no one has wanted to do over the past 2 years. Luckily, people confuse us all the time, so maybe they'll think Neve was the person who read the really great stuff in her program. So here we are, cohort, we made it. So today has been a long time coming. There were very much days where I thought it wasn't going to come at all, but our class as a whole has persevered. If we had more than 2 minutes, I would name every single one of you cohort mates individually, because you have all been such a big part of my journey and my growth and have left these handprints on my heart. But we only have 2 minutes. So instead, I'll just say congratulations for your hard work, your passion, and your courage to pursue this work, regardless of the challenges lying in higher education in the US and in an international context today. So way to go, team. In addition to congratulating our cohort, I just wanted to say thank you to so many people. My dad, Owen, who is here today. Thank you to you, Mom, Kira, for providing me the love and support I needed to believe this adventure was possible, but also constantly reminding me that I have value and worth beyond SAHE too. Thank you for that. To our faculty and my committee, Drs. Judy Bryant, Heather Novak, Kyle Oldham, and Lynn Kwiatkowski, I'm so grateful for your guidance and your feedback. Neil deGrasse Tyson says good education is not what fills your head with facts, but what stimulates curiosity, and so thank you to all of you for nudging me towards curiosity and lifelong learning. And I got facts too, so thank you for those as well. To my Ram family, Henry, thank you for being an awesome brother that I've never had before. To my Ram kids, Jessica and Steven, thank you for teaching me so much this year. There you two are, right over there. Hey. Congratulations on the halfway mark. I can't wait to see what next year brings you both. To my Ram partner, Ram best friend, Whitley Hadley. Whew. All I'm going to say is that this journey would not have been half as fun or half as meaningful without having you with me this entire time. I have learned so much from you every day, and thank you so much for renting out a place in your office to me. You are so generous. I feel really fortunate for the opportunity to not have had one but two incredible supervisors in my assistantship. Working with Bobby and Emily has been a crash course in how to live out your values while making positive, sustainable change in this world. Bobby, today wouldn't have been complete without having you here, so it's really cool to have you here. Thank you also to my Slice family, everyone I have ever had a lunch date with who's given me some knowledge to work with, and the students who made all the hard work worthwhile. Kira, Sam, Alexis Taylor, Vanessa, my campus Step Up and Leadership families, and the incredible men of Beta Gamma Nu. And finally, I just wanted to say, very similar to Sam, I wanted to echo the fact that our cohort, they are tapestries made up of every single person who has touched them in some way. And if you're in this room, you've had an impact on them, and because I love them, thank you so much for what you've done. So thank you.
So I just have to say to Neve, our mantra last year was, "This too shall pass," and we kept saying that to each other. This too shall pass. We are here now, so woo! So something that's really important to me when I move to a new place, so same for undergrad, same for grad school, is that I know the community where I'm living in. And so when I moved to Fort Collins, I knew I wanted to be more than a student when I moved here, so I made that a really top priority. So how do you know a place well? You know it by knowing the people that occupy the space, and then you also start to understand what you bring to that space. So I think first, SAHE helped me understand who I am in this new home of Fort Collins, and there's so many people who are here who I've gotten to know, and as a result, know Fort Collins. So people here at CSU, gosh, I could run through an entire list of names, but I know I would forget someone and I wouldn't have enough time to do it. So Dave and Karen, who were my advisor and co-advisor, thank you so much. Barb Richardson, who is my supervisor at the Career Center, she is incredible. She had to sneak out. Lindsay Sell in the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, thank you. The Career Center is amazing. Those people are wonderful, and they have taken me under their wings in multiple ways. The Women of 80 Chi, who is the sorority that I have served as an FGA for, they're incredible. The faculty and staff of SAHE, and other people around CSU who are still here, and those of you who were here at one point and then moved on, I can't thank you enough for the ways that you've supported me throughout this time. My cohort, of course, I'm giving a huge shout out to you. There's seasons in life where you do that season with groups of people or a person, and when I look back at the last 2 years, you are those people. When I think about this time, you're the people that I get to share this experience with that no one else will understand. So I'm grateful to hold those memories with you. And then finally, the people in my community, they're my tribe, they're my family, and I write about them in the program. They have helped me survive this whole past 2 years in many, many ways. I also know that when you come to a new place, you have to stand firm in where you come from. And so anyone who knows me knows that I am a Wisconsinite through and through, and I will share that. Yes, Wisconsin love back there and many places around the room. And so holding firm to who you are when you show up in a new space is really important. So my family is sitting over there. We occupy 2 tables, which is great. So thank you all for being here. Echoing what everyone else said, for the phone calls that I never returned and the text messages that left unresponded to, and all of the things. Thank you for just bearing with me through all of that. My old roommates and friends back in Wisconsin who also were the beneficiaries of those things, I can't thank them enough. And finally, Neve kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but I'm going to say it anyways. I have a belief that we're all connected in different ways, and we're all connected to each other sitting in this room in one way, shape, or form, and there's actually a Greek word for that. It's kairos. And so I want to thank you all for being here because you've impacted someone in this room who has impacted my life. So thank you so much for who you are and how you've molded people in this room. I'm excited to stay here at CSU. I'm glad I don't have to leave. And so thank you to CSU for that. And I'm going to wrap it up because I'm sure I'm over 2 minutes. So thank you all.
All right, I think I'm last, so those of you dozing off, woo! All right, so first and foremost, I would like to thank my partner. SAHE partners often don't get appreciated like they should. It is hard to be a SAHE partner and to deal with all of the stuff that we bring home and take to work and take to class and then bring home again. So thank you. I would not be here today without you, and I love you very much, and I thank you so much for all of everything, for all of it. Thank you. I would also like to thank my 2 fur babies. If anyone knows me, they know that I am a cat lady through and through, and it is something I'm very proud of, and without them, I would not be here today as well. So thank you to both of them who are at home probably taking a nap. Great. So second, I would like to thank my family and friends, specifically my mom, Brenda, who is here today, without whom I would not be alive. So thanks for that. But also someone who has instilled true values and morals, and also a great understanding of a great dress and a good pair of heels, but also an ability to stand up for myself and what I believe in. And you are my role model and the person that I look to for everything in life, and I would not be here today without you, both physically and emotionally. I would like to thank the faculty and staff, without whom none of us would be here, without whom none of us would have degrees, without whom many of us would have cried much more than we did, and without whom we would not have a future that is so bright. Specifically, I'd like to thank my advisor, Lisa, Anne, Laura, Kathy, Jody, Janine, Kim, and Kelly Humphrey. I'd like to thank Dave, Lance, and Blanche, and the queer community of folks at CSU. I'd like to thank residence life as a whole. I didn't have a history in residence life, and Terry, who is here today, gave me a chance. I remember my interview, I was terrified, and she was like, I'm going to a Pink concert. And I was like, great, this is gonna be great. And you know, it was great. It was hard, and it was worth it. And I really would not have been able to get through it so successfully without Laura and Kyle and Terry, and most importantly, for those of you who work in residence life, Peggy. Thank you for all the lessons. Thank you to my Corbett family, specifically my work husband, Nate, and our work brother, Leroy. Thank you so much to Dana, who's not here today, who really taught me how to be a really great supervisee and how to be a really great supervisor. And thank you to the students in residence life and the students at CSU, without whom I would not have a lot of real life training. And finally, thank you to my cohort. We did it. When I say I'm completed by you, I'm not exaggerating. You are truly an inspiration and an inspirational group of people who I greatly look up to. Each of you is so impressive and so amazing, and you have touched my life in so many ways. I look forward to seeing what you will put on our Facebook group, but also the change that you make in our field and in the world. Thank you for all of you, for your patience, love, kindness, and gratitude. I did write this before Bailey called me out, but go out there and rock it. Go team.
as JR gave his toast, I'm sure you were wondering where you could get one of those really snazzy jackets he was wearing. But unfortunately, it is one of a kind, and so he's going to come up and share that story with you for the passing of the SAHE jacket.
So a year ago tomorrow, I was given the shocking and amazing honor to be the 16th SAHE jacket recipient, and today I have the privilege to continue the SAHE tradition. I know a lot of you that know about the tradition know exactly what's going to happen today, but the rest of you probably think that this is just how I typically show up to a commencement reception or a wedding or a red carpet. I've actually never been on a red carpet, but whatever. Either way, I don't typically wear jackets like this, but I mean, it's pretty cute. But while that's a safe assumption, there's much more symbolism and honor that comes along with the jacket. So no, you can't find this jacket at your nearest J. Crew, which is in Loveland, in case you're wondering. And no, I didn't buy it at a thrift store. That'd be pretty cool. But truth is, there's nothing like this fashionable article of clothing. This jacket is a symbol of the SAHE program, and this is why I'm extremely humbled to be a part of this tradition. Last year, the previous recipient, Maria Marinucci, presented me with the SAHE jacket, and since then, it has made several red carpet appearances. I didn't know I used that joke twice. That's weird. I really did it. SAHE interview day, SAHE holiday party, New Orleans for the annual NASPA conference. Thank you to my supervisor who corrected me. There was an S missing. It wasn't the NAPA conference. It was the NASPA conference. Sadly, I did not take the jacket with me to Qatar, but I was a little paranoid about traveling long distances with it, and everyone who knows me being paranoid is not necessarily shocking. But to make up for it, I am leaving a piece of Qatar with the jacket. I'm leaving a small Qatar flag and a Starbucks card. The two are not necessarily related, but if you know me well, I like to travel when I don't do 8 a.m. meetings without a venti, light ice, chai. So now I'm going to share a brief history of the jacket, and I'm going to quote Maria Marinucci in this. So the SAHE jacket was born in 1996. Ray Gazer, a student in the SAHE program at the time, had received a yellow and multicolored strip sofa. Yes, I am wearing the sofa. The couch had several different SAHE students over the years. So basically the jacket was passed on. I mean, not the jacket, it was still a couch at that point. The couch was passed on just for the sake of leaving furniture you don't want to take back, to be honest. And when it was on its last leg, it was turned into a jacket just to continue the tradition of the meaning that the SAHE jacket brought with. And so there's a longer piece here on the history, but at the end, I ended it with Marinucci, 2014, because I used part of her history and because she was my TA for theory, where I learned how to use APA guidelines. So there goes that. So I'm going to skip a little bit because I know we're on time. But all right, so the recipient of the SAHE jacket this year is kind, caring, committed, and compassionate. They embody the values and qualities of an engaged leader. They're passionate about student success and well-being. Their students show a great deal of love and appreciation for all he does for them. I admire their selflessness, commitment to all parts of their assistantship, academics, and the field of student affairs. Their ability to make people feel mattered is simply impeccable. I asked my cohort for help in selecting this year's recipient of the jacket because I struggled to select the winner due to all the wonderful contributions that this now second-year cohort, yes, now second-year cohort has made to CSU and the SAHE program. Cool, so the following was shared about this year's recipient. They're so dedicated to both their jobs and their practicum. I've always seen them take on different opportunities to get involved, which is fantastic. Both are able to build relationships, most with all students in their cohort, if not all. They are a driving force in building a SAHE community, and let's not forget about the co-curricular rock star this person is. The journal board and coordinating SACN takes a lot of time. This person has contributed a great deal to CSU, SAHE, and residence life, and to the field of student affairs. Seriously, he's already a celebrity at student affairs conferences. So I guess hire me too, along with Jackie. Okay, cool. So he's simply a joy to be around, and I've learned so much from this wonderful SAHE peer. Also, my predecessor, who I consulted with, Maria from the Marinucci APA quote, endorses my decision. I guess it's official. So it is my pleasure to present this year's SAHE jacket recipient, number 17, Leroy Ford. one size fits all, people. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jessica Charbonneau, and I am currently a new second-year student in the SAHE cohort. I'm speaking up here on behalf of the first-year cohort. Congratulations to everybody who is now graduated. We've looked to all of you for support and guidance throughout our first year of the SAHE program, and we couldn't have done what we were doing without all of you here for your guidance and encouragement, getting through that first semester and all the support that entailed. So on behalf of the first year cohort, as well as the faculty and the staff at the SAHE program, we wanted to give a little token to say thank you and congratulations for all your hard work.
Okay, thank you all. That concludes the formal sort of reception agenda. So now we'll have some music and slideshows and stuff if you want to mingle and meet people and all that fun stuff. Thank you.